Hello, life science students. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good night, or good midnight, whenever it is that you happen to be watching this. Today, our topic is viruses, and you're going to notice that I have with me my guitar today. So this is a video walkthrough and song all in one. It's like a combo that you get. The slideshow is very short today, but the song is going to go give you a little bit more detail about viruses. So it's interesting that here we are talking about viruses during a viral pandemic of 2020. This is the COVID-19 virus, the coronavirus, which has caused us to do school differently. And isn't it interesting that here we are talking about viruses? So on your lab book, you want to go ahead and put viruses as your topic, the date on the upper right-hand corner, and then you're going to leave room for the main ideas and concepts right underneath that as we talk about viruses. There are two main things we're going to talk about before we sing the song. The first one is, what is a virus? Well, a virus is a tiny piece of genetic material with a protein coating. And you can see some pictures. You've probably seen some other pictures of different viruses, maybe especially the coronavirus lately in the news. When it says tiny, we're not talking about just small. 100,000 viruses could line up end to end on the period at the end of a sentence. Okay, so just think about that for a moment. 100,000 viruses on the period at the end of the sentence. So they're not just small, they are tiny. They do have some sort of genetic material inside of them, and that's what they use then as they make more of themselves. So what do viruses do? Well, viruses infect cells, and the cell that they infect is called a host cell. So your cells inside your body, if they are attacked or invaded or borrowed by a virus, the virus comes in and basically makes more of itself. And as it does that, it causes the cell not to be able to do what it's supposed to do during that particular time. So the cells make wonderful hosts, but viruses make horrible guests. So, hold on one second, and we are going to sing. Viruses are tiny, but they're not cells. They have a protein coat and DNA as well. They find their way into a human being. Once inside, they make quite a scene. Your cells are used by viruses like a factory for reproduction. Your cells are used by viruses like a factory, making more of them. Attach, inject, direct, and form, and bursting of a bursting. Attach, inject, direct, and form, and bursting, bursting. Viruses are tiny, but they're not cells. They have a protein coat and DNA as well. They find their way into a human being. Once inside, they make quite a scene. I tell you, they sure are mean. They might even turn you all green. They don't really turn you green. That's just a little word for being sick. When viruses get in your body, there's nothing you can do about it. When viruses get in your body, there's nothing, nothing. Just sleep and rest, relax and drink plenty of fluids like water. Just sleep and rest, relax and drink plenty of fluids like yummy tadpole juice. Viruses are tiny, but they're not cells. Have protein coat and DNA as well. They find their way into a human being. Once inside, they make quite a scene. I tell you, they sure are mean. They might even turn you all green. Don't worry, they're not turning you green. Vaccines are things you take before you get one to prevent them. Vaccines are things you take before you get one to prevent them. Your immune system makes antibodies to stop them before they hurt you. Your immune system makes antibodies to stop them. Stop them. Viruses are tiny, but they're not cells. They have a protein coat and DNA as well. They find their way into a human being. Once inside, they make quite a scene. Avoid them, keep yourself clean. Prevent them and get a vaccine. I hope you can see what I mean. So go on down and get yourself a flu shot today. So that's kind of a song and a public service announcement about getting vaccines for viruses. So that's some of the information about viruses that I wanted to and needed to tell you about. Don't forget on the bottom of your lab page to write down a few questions, like a quiz for this particular topic. And then at the bottom, I understood everything today, or any questions that you might have about viruses that you aren't quite sure about. Viruses are one of the things that are very tricky. There's not really a lot of answers, as we've discovered here during this COVID pandemic, that sometimes they react in ways that are uncertain, and it's hard to know exactly what they'll do. So that's viruses. Enjoy your day, and we will see you next time as we study genetics next.